Hey guys, welcome to Dylan's Little Hobbies, and today I have 3 very cool Star Wars theories that I want to talk about. One about Darth Maul, one about Luke finding holocrons, and one about the Journal of Wills itself. So without further ado, let's begin talking about these 3 theories. Well, not necessary theories. They're just something that I just kind of thought about that I wanted to share and get you guys' opinions on. So without further ado, I'm going to tell you these 3 theories of mine. Let's begin. Okay, so I have a theory about Darth Maul, and here it is. So, if you know anything about the Inquisitors from Star Wars Rebels or in the new Darth Vader comic, then here's the thing about them. They are not Sith. They do not have the title Darth. They are Inquisitors. What they are Jedi assassins. They are essentially made to hunt down the Jedi. They have Force abilities, but they will never be taught like Sith lightning or any true Sith ability. They are just assassins. And because of that, that makes me think about Darth Maul. Now, in Legends continuity, there was this character named Plagueis. Now, he's canon because he was mentioned in Star Wars Episode 3, but the book that came out about him is no longer canon. So, here's the thing. At the time, there is still the rule of 2. There is Darth Plagueis and Sidious. And Palpatine was training Maul from when he was a little kid. So, you could theorize that Palpatine was training Maul to help him kill Darth Plagueis, but here's the thing. That doesn't make sense because that would mean Darth Plagueis wouldn't have known about Darth Maul. And in Legends continuity, Darth Plagueis was thinking about portraying the rule of 2 and making a couple more Sith, which of course never happened. But anyway, here's the thing. He knows about Darth Maul, so why would there be another Sith? So it just makes more sense that Darth Maul was being trained as an Inquisitor. He was trained as an assassin. That doesn't mean he has to know Force Lightning or anything else. And tricks like Force Lightning and other true Sith abilities like that are not taught to the Inquisitors. So it makes more sense to me that after Sidious kills Palpatine, he takes Maul's training up a notch and turns him into an actual Sith, which is why he's able to hold the title Darth. But for so long, Darth Maul was probably just Maul, another Inquisitor. So that brings me also to the thought about Ventress. Here's the thing, Ventress, after Darth Maul died, well, the first time in Episode 1, we know that he actually comes back later on in Star Wars The Clone Wars. But when Darth Maul supposedly died, Palpatine trained Count Dooku, and Count Dooku started training another apprentice called Ventress. And here's the thing, Palpatine knew of Ventress, There was even this one part where he was worried about Ventress's power and ordered Count Dooku to kill Ventress. But Ventress wasn't being taught anything big Sith related, like Force Lightning or anything like that. She knew that was there, but I don't think that she was actually ever going to be trained into a Sith. She never held the title of Darth, so it just makes more sense that she was another Inquisitor. And you know what? That brings me to the thought of Grievous as well, because Grievous, while not being a Force user, he was more of a robot, but he was a Jedi assassin too, and we know because they aren't Sith, they aren't contradicting the rule of 2, so it might be a practice to have several assassins for a long time. Though Darth Maul might have been the first one we were introduced to, it could have been that long ago, long before the New Republic and everything. In the Old Republic, when the Rule of 2 was created, there could have been tons and tons of Jedi assassins trained by the Sith, like an army of Jedi assassins, never to become Sith, never to become more powerful than the Sith that controls them, or at least orders them around. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think Darth Maul and Ventress could have been the first, and possibly Grievous too in a sense, could have been the first Inquisitors that we were ever introduced to. Now, that reminds me, there was a character named Starkiller from the video game, I think Forces Unleashed or something like that. It was this character who was being trained by Darth Vader to eventually kill Palpatine in Legends continuity. They were thinking about bringing him in canon and making him an Inquisitor. They eventually went against that idea, but there you go. If he was in fact canon, he would have been an Inquisitor being taught by Vader. He would never hold the title Darth, because only the Sith hold the title Darth. What do you guys think about my theory? Let me know down in the comments below. Okay, now for a theory about Luke and some holocrons. So, in the brand new Darth Vader's issue 7, we know of the character Jocasta, which was pretty much the librarian of the Jedi. In episode 2, she was actually kind of rude to Obi-Wan. She was the character where Obi-Wan was searching something in the library and she came in and she said, if it's not part of our data, then it doesn't exist. She was that character. Her name is Jocasta, and I even had to look it up. So, here's the thing. She survived the Jedi Purge, which I don't know how she survived the Jedi Purge, but apparently she survived the Jedi Purge, and she went to another planet where she started making holocrons. So my theory is that somewhere along the line, probably between either I want to say either between 5 or 6, but it would make more sense that it would probably be between 6 and 7, that Luke is going to find those holocrons, and that's how he's going to start up his Jedi Academy, because he's going to be able to learn more from these holocrons. And here's the reason why I almost think he might have learned that from episode 5 and 6, because if you look at him in episode 6, he knows his stuff. He's really, really good with the Force by now. He's almost a Jedi Master. How did that happen in a year? Because a year before, he got his arm cut off. So I'm thinking there might have been some sort of adventure between episode 5 and 6 where he eventually learned and found these holocrons and learned from them. And he could have just come back and train his students with the same holocrons. And these holocrons could have been, of course, created by Jocasta, because we know in the Star Wars Darth Vader comic book that just came out, the latest issue, issue 7, that Jocasta has a bunch, and I mean like hundreds. She had made hundreds of holocrons, and she's making like sort of a holocron library, you know? So I think that it just makes sense that they are just setting that up for Luke to find later on. I just think it's a perfect connection that they're going to do. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Speaking about Jocasta, we know from the issue 7 that she is going to be going to Coruscant, and she is going to be getting something. We don't know what it is yet, but apparently it's really important. She doesn't want it to fall in the hands of Palpatine. Palpatine wants it, but he doesn't know where she hid it. He just knows it's probably on Coruscant somewhere. That leads me to think, what about the Journal of the Wills? Now, in episode 8, the trailers and all that, we get this site of these books that Luke is in front of on on this little shelf in this really nice like little cave with this really cool wooden shelf. It looks really, really awesome. And a lot of people have been theorizing, and it just makes sense that they are in fact the Book of the Wills. Now, here's the thing about this. It could be that those books were sitting there forever, long before, long before Anakin showed up and everything. But what if they weren't? What if they were in the Jedi Temple on Coruscant, and what if, because it would make sense. If the first Jedi Temple that was ever really created was really kind of run down and everything, it would make sense that they would take those books and put them into a high secret vault on Coruscant, because that's where the most protected temple was. It was on Coruscant. So what if Jocasta is going to go get the Journal of the Wills and eventually take them to that planet until Luke eventually finds them? What about it? A nice little link there. Let me know down in the comments below. That is it for me, guys. Those are my 3 theories. I hope you guys enjoyed them. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know down in the comments below if you like them, if you think they can work. If I think they really link up the story quite well. I think they're really setting it up for Luke to eventually train his Jedi students. Thank you guys for watching, and I'm out.